was telling a friend of mine recently that when I reflect about our interactions with His Highness the Aga Khan, these were not business meetings. He was actually mentoring us. He was actually coaching us. Because in action, you see leadership as a virtue, not as a platform to intimidate others. When you refer to somebody as an expert, I feel very uncomfortable because learning is a continuous process. If you take an attitude of being an expert, you deny yourself an opportunity to learn. Humility helps, and it can be a tool of leadership.
Yes.
If used properly.
My guest today is a man whose career reads like a map of modern Kenya's institutions. Francis Okomo Okello is a lawyer by training, a graduate of the University of Dar es Salaam, an Albert Pavin Fellow of Princeton University, and a Fellow of the Kenya Institute of Bankers. For nearly 5 decades, he has helped shape corporate Kenya, and he currently serves as Group Chairman of TPS Eastern Africa, the Serena Group of Hotels and Resorts. His footprint is remarkable. He has led or served on the boards of Diamond Trust Bank, Absa Bank Kenya, the Nation Media Group, and Absa Group in South Africa, among many others. Francis is also the chairman of Kavu Africa, a youth-focused climate education, innovation, and storytelling organization. The nation has honored him twice, as a Moran and later as an Elder of the Order of the Burning Spear, and in 2024 he was named one of East Africa's most impactful board chairs. He's also a newly published author, and his book Concert of Life is a must read. But what brings him here is simple: a lifelong heart for mentoring young professionals. Please help me welcome Francis Okomo Okello.
Arise and shine with Dr. Njoki Chege. This is a youth mentorship podcast inspiring young Kenyans to discover their purpose, unlock their potential, and lead with courage. Each episode brings inspiring conversations on purpose, leadership, career growth, mentorship, identity, and personal development, equipping you with the wisdom and confidence to lead with courage. Arise and shine, because your future begins with the decision to rise. Hosted by Dr. Njoki Chege.
Thank you, Francis, for joining us. And thank you for writing this very amazing book. I think I've read this book like 3 times now, Francis, and it's been a project that has been a long time coming.
Yes.
So how are you finding the feedback so far?
Yeah, the feedback has been great.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for welcoming me to the studio.
Thank you.
It's a privilege to be here. Yes, the book has been, I think, very well received. It's really been beyond my expectations in terms of the outreach and in terms of the excitement that the book is creating.
Yes.
In the thought leadership space. I'm quite engaged with groups, book clubs, professional associations.
Yes.
I'm doing a lot of lectures in universities.
Yeah.
Like in Q3 last year, I was honored to be a keynote speaker.
Yes.
At the Aga Khan University,
Yes.
Media and Communication School.
Yes, the graduate school.
The graduate school,
Yes.
where I was sharing my experience in writing this book.
Yes.
Yeah, they have an authors' day where they invite authors.
Yes, yes.
And other stakeholders for a
Excellent.
conversation.
Yes.
In terms of promoting
Yes.
reading culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all the gifts you've given us, I think this is the most important gift that you could ever give to the younger generation, the people who will come after you. But before we get into the book, I just want to talk a little bit about your life. So let's talk about the boy from Yumbo. Tell me about your background without revealing too much, because I want them to get this book.
Okay.
I really do.
You want them to read the book?
Yes.
That's
yes.
my hope too.
Absolutely.
In terms of my background, you will be, or your viewers will be interested
Yes.
to know that I come from a family of 16 mothers,
Yes.
16 sisters,
Yes.
and 17 brothers.
So you are 30.
33.
33 thereabouts.
Yeah. These are the brothers and sisters that actually survived
Yes.
into adulthood, because the mortality rate at that time was pretty high, as you can imagine. So we were 33 in all.
Yes.
But for now, the family of my immediate family, we are just 3 brothers, me included,
Yes.
and 1 sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So growing up 16 mothers
Yes.
in a very interesting setup, polygamous family.
Yes.
Tell me about your dad.
Yeah, my dad was he was a chief during the colonial times.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
People often make that mistake of referring to these chiefs as colonial chiefs, as
Yes.
if the British administration was responsible for creating those institutions.
Yes, they existed before.
Chiefdom existed well before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was a way of organizing, societies.
Yes.
That there are structures,
Yes.
political structures and leadership structures.
Yes.
So my father was a leader in his time.
Yes.
But so was his father, who is my grandfather,
Yes.
my great-grandfather, and my great-great-great-grandfather. So my family has got an unbroken chain
Yes.
of leadership running, 12 unbroken chains of leadership,
Wow.
back to back.
Yes. That's a proper dynasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
starting from 1680 to about 1947.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad, as a leader, then had to marry into many families.
Yes.
It's a way of managing stakeholders,
Yes.
extending families, and
Yes.
extending your influence. The French call it assimilation.
Yes.
Yeah, so we were a big family. With that kind of family, the home had to be equally big.
Yeah.
But we were brought up in a way that we were actually encouraged to look at our mothers as our mothers,
Yes.
irrespective of the fact that one could have been a biological mother,
Yes.
and others could be what we are now calling stepmothers.
Stepmom. But they were mothers.
They were mothers,
Yeah.
nevertheless.
It's true.
And we loved them
Yes.
just as equally.
Yes.
And they, in turn, also loved us,
Yeah.
just as equally the case.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, like it is the case in any polygamous family,
Yes.
we had tensions. We had, I think, rivalries,
Yes.
if you like, inter-house rivalries,
Yes.
and inter-house bitterness and
Yes.
tension. The fortunate thing, however, is that our father, being an administrator,
Yes.
was a good leader, in my view. He treated his wives with, a sense of equality.
Yes.
He treated us all as his children.
Yes.
So I think he was a good administrator. I have to admit, however, that towards the end of his life,
Yes.
as his energy level webbed,
Yeah.
we could sense some more visible forms of tension within the family,
Oh.
but not as negative as the case was in other families.
So your dad was Chief
Yes,
Okello.
he was a chief Jairo Okello Anam.
Anam. Yes.
His father was Chief Anamo Sunga.
Yes.
Anamo Sunga's father was Chief Ulwa, and I can go on and on.
On and on.
And the chain runs,
Yes.
was unbroken, 12 generations. Yeah.
Okay. So in your book here on page 11, let me read what you write about your dad. Because I think your father was a significant influence in your life. And I just wanted to capture that as an anchor to, the story. So page 11, you write, our father was a strict disciplinarian. He had no time for laziness and ineptitude. He was not necessarily a spendthrift or frugal. However, he eschewed extravagance and was a firm believer in proper stewardship of resources. Tell me about how you would have to earn your breakfast when you and tied to
this, yeah.
Yes.
My father had no time for lazy people.
Yes.
Ineptitude, I think, was his number one enemy.
Yes.
He brought us up with discipline, and he taught us that there always has to be, a correlation between effort and reward. You earn your stripes.
Yes.
Good behavior, hard work. The correlation between effort and reward was so dear to him.
Yes.
That ordinary home activities like taking breakfast, for example, was never taken for granted.
Yeah.
You had to demonstrate that you have been engaged in some productive labor.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Before you could be on a breakfast table with him.
Yes.
Okay? He made it also very clear to us what his charter of expectations were.
Yes.
In terms of what he expects of us as his children.
Yeah.
There were certain things that we were not allowed to do.
Yes.
Things like doing anything that would bring dishonor to the family.
Yes.
We were taught values around integrity, honesty, hard work, respect, and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, I must say that we sometimes felt that we were being placed under a lot of pressure.
Yes.
We sometimes felt that we were not getting the kind of freedom that our peers, our age mates, were enjoying.
Yeah.
But that was then.
Yes.
Later on in my life, I realized that our dad was basically preparing us for a tougher future.
Yeah. And so tell us about Francis, the young boy, growing up, going through the village life in Yembo, before we come to this very challenging period of grief that, sort of changed your life. Yes.
I was close. We were a close-knit family.
Yes.
Obviously, I was close to my mom, but I lost her when I was 8. We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
I was equally close to my dad. My dad was a very, very terrific storyteller. He was a great storyteller. So was my brother, Paul Richard Okello.
Yes.
But also on the mother's side, my grandmother, Rosa Ongwede, was a good storyteller too. So I grew up in an environment where storytelling was not just entertainment.
Yes.
It was about transmitting, our history, transmitting knowledge. Our father, for example, used to spend a lot of time with us, telling us how he grew up, telling us about the stories of our ancestors, as he was also told by his father. And it was like, stories around how our ancestors trekked from a country that was, distant country. I mean, we did not know at the time what this distant country could have been. But we later learned that this was actually South Sudan.
Yeah.
We were told about the family values. We were taught about basically our genealogy, our history, our cultural heritage, and this kind of stuff. So much so that at age 5 in Njoki, I had been tutored into understanding my ancestry or lineage, and I was able at that age to recite my genealogy going back 15 generations. At age 5? 5, yeah.
So you are sort of like a small little prodigy.
Yes, a small little prodigy.
Yes.
Because I found him very interesting guy. I would engage him. And my dad was a very interesting person. I could engage him in discussions.
Yes.
I loved, his stories. And what then happened was he took interest in me as a child. So I was keen to learn.
Yes.
So he helped me to learn about our family history. In fact, it's out of that kind of effort, for example, the knowledge that I built over that period.
Yeah.
That we were able then subsequently to develop the family tree,
Yes.
which we have shared
Which is here
in the book.
Yes.
And now goes back 22 generations.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have listed your moms and your sisters. And
No, I've listed
No,
my
your
brothers and sisters.
Yes, your
Yeah.
brothers are in blue and your sisters are in pink.
Yeah, just a
Excellent.
female preference, color
Absolutely.
preference,
Yes.
and male color preference.
That's interesting. So, at the age of 8, Francis, something very traumatizing happens to you. You lose your mom. So to walk us through that situation.
I lost my mom when I was 8. I must say that at that time could not have meant much. I was too young to really appreciate the full import. I lost my mom, and then I was reassigned to another mom. The family rallied around me.
Yes.
2 of my moms stepped in and were then, given the responsibility of, helping bring me up
Yes.
in the context of the homestead that I've described. There were, however, certain areas that were not going well. I started, my performance in school started to decline. I could have been the instability that comes with that kind of traumatic experience. My family from my mother's side were convinced that probably the environment needed to be changed in my case. Mm-hmm. And they negotiated with my dad to relocate to their home.
Yes.
Okay, that is where that is when I then moved to my mother's side of the family.
Yes.
My dad was initially very reluctant, but given the decline in my school performance, I think he was persuaded. So he gave a conditional approval. One, that he would continue to monitor my classwork, all right, which then meant that during the holidays I would move to our home in Nyangera,
Yes.
which is the village that I come from.
Mm-hmm.
And he would monitor my performance in school on a more frequent basis to make sure that I don't lose, track
Yes.
in my educational pursuits. I think that my mother's death was the first major traumatic experience I went through as a child. Mm-hmm. But more had to happen later when I then lost my dad at age 18.
Yes.
Maybe we can talk about that
we'll
in
come
another.
to that.
Yeah.
So all this time you're doing very well in school, but you're also learning a lot about standing up for yourself, being courageous and all that. And there's a particular incident that I want you to tell our viewers, where you carried your lunch and then somebody went, you know the story that you've told me that story many times.
It's about the question of people, harvesting.
Yes.
In farms that they didn't, sow.
Yes.
Right. This prefect sees me.
How old are you at this point?
At this point, I could have been probably 7.
7, so grade 1 or?
Grade 2.
Grade 2.
Or thereabouts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our lunch boxes used to be our pockets, by the way. There were no lunch boxes. Nobody could afford the luxury of... They were not existing.
So you had stuffed...
So you have stuff inside your pocket.
Roasted sweet potatoes.
Roasted sweet potatoes and githeri, for example. So I had these roasted sweet potatoes in my pocket, which, breakfast time, lunch, 10 o'clock break, I was, partaking. The prefect sees that happening. And he calls me and orders me to surrender my food. So I said, no, I don't. How do I surrender this to you?
Yes.
I became difficult. He then reports me to the teacher on duty that I was rude to him, makes all kinds of allegations. They take me through a punishment, which meant actually walking on my knees in hot maram. Very painful process for a young boy or a young girl. I refused to take the punishment because I didn't think it was justified. So they banished me from school I went back home, worried about how my father would receive this news. I told him my story. He listened to me. He questioned me intensively about the incident. After being convinced that I had a story that looked credible, he ordered me to accompany him in his bicycle.
Yes.
It's called a Combrera bicycle.
Yes.
He took his walking stick and all these kind of other tools of, administration. So we go to school.
Yes.
He reports to the headmaster's office. The headmaster is not in, unfortunately. He goes to the teacher on duty, questions him what could have happened. The teacher on duty calls the prefect, and we have a conversation. It turns out that the prefect was wrong.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Of course, that did not make me very popular, because it was like I was a spoiled brat, overprotected, bringing my chief dad to whatever. Yeah. But I learned a lesson out of this. Mm-hmm. It was about conviction.
Yes.
It was about believing in something that was wrong. It was about, and doing something about it, all right? It was about fairness. It was about justice.
Yes.
Actually, it was the first time I experienced injustice at a practical level. I learned all those lessons. Mm. And for my father, the fact that he believed my story, the fact that he was able to defend me against adversity,
yes,
all right, meant a lot. It enhanced the level of trust and friendship that we had between the two of us. Mm. And I recall this story not to depict a picture of a child that was rude or difficult or overprotected, but to say that there were underlying matters of principle in this incident, mm-hmm, from which, I learned positive lessons.
Yeah.
My pursuit of law later as a profession could have been actually based on that incident.
Do you think maybe that could be the point at which the seed was
planted? Yeah.
Because there's also this other story that you'll tell our viewers in a short while, when you are in high school, mm-hmm, and there's a strike, but we'll come to that later.
Yeah.
So you attend Nyangera Primary School, mm-hmm, and then you transfer to
Osieko, which is in my maternal side of the family.
Yes, you do very well, mm-hmm, in your primary, mm-hmm, and then you attend which secondary?
Usenge Intermediate School.
Yes.
Before going to Form 1 in Maranda Secondary School. Yeah.
Maranda Secondary School. Mm-hmm. So this is the formation stage. Tell us a bit about Maranda.
Yeah, Maranda was a great school. We had wonderful teachers, very competitive students. I'm proud to say that my cohort was the first group of students in Maranda High School to score straight first divisions. It was a great class. Things that stand out is about the teachers that I met.
Yes.
One of them, yes, was a Dutch teacher, mm-hmm, Mr. Van den Bogart.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Van den Bogart was a great mathematician.
Yeah.
But he had a challenge, mm-hmm, in expressing himself in English.
Yes.
So he'd compensate that by hand language.
Yes, by the hand gestures.
Gestures and stuff.
Yes.
Van den Bogart was a believer,
yeah,
that a good student must be a good science student and mathematics student. He felt very offended when a student was good and straddling both the so-called sciences, between the sciences and the arts. He used to feel very offended.
So he wanted
people to just focus on mathematics, physics, probably chemistry.
The sciences.
The sciences, the STEM, yeah.
Because he believed that is what made a good student.
That is what made a good student. It's the case now. We were being examined over a whole range of subjects. Mathematics, physics, yes, chemistry, yes, but so was history, geography, literature. And I was one such student who had no difficulty in doing well in the STEM, subjects, but also in the...
So you are straddling both the sciences,
I was straddling both.
And the social...
Yeah. Van den Boga didn't like that. And I found it counterintuitive that I should be forced into focusing in these subjects to the exclusion of others, which was going to be impairing my performance, in the exams.
Yes.
Because they take 8 of these subjects together and aggregate them,
True.
Subconsciously started to develop hatred, unfortunately, for things mathematical because of this teacher. It was sad. I struggled, but my internally had a shift.
Yes.
In terms of my love for subjects.
Yeah.
I did pass the O-levels, passed both streams. But I look back and I think my declining performance in physics, for example, and mathematics after Form 2 might have been as a result of Van den Boga's misdirected emphasis on STEM-related subjects as opposed to looking at a student and the need for that student to develop holistically.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think that is where the seed of being a polymath was planted. Let's park the polymath conversation for a while and let's go back to your family life.
Before we go back to the family, the Miranda incident, that was one incident.
Yes.
Then there was this strike.
How old are you at this point?
I was in Form 3.
And you're prefect?
I was a prefect in charge of the gen set.
What is a gen set?
A gen set
there are Gen Z that don't know what's a gen set.
A gen set is a generator, a petrol or diesel generator. During those days, schools were not connected to the national grid. So schools had local generators, to help, especially, night classes and all this kind of stuff, and early morning activities in dormitories and so forth. I was a prefect responsible for the gen set. In fact, my official title was an engine boy.
Engine boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was my responsibility to maintain the generator.
Yes.
Put it on and put it off within the prescribed hours.
That was a very big responsibility.
It was a big responsibility, yes.
So you could, with one decision, you could plunge the entire school in
darkness. Yeah, I could. But have to reason and explain why.
Yeah.
Because there were rules around that as well. Anyway, long story short, a strike is organized in the school. Normal complaints. Food is not good. The prefects are overbearing. We need more freedom. The normal stuff we deal with at that age. And the strike actually is organized at about 3 o'clock in the morning, pretty early. The gen set had been switched off because we used to switch it off at about 10, 11 and switch it on at around 6 or something like that. 5:30 or 6, or 6. And there is riot in the school at 3 o'clock.
At 3 a.m.
Yes, in the morning. So I made a decision as the engine boy to put on the light because, one, I believed that in darkness there was going to be more damage more injuries, to the students because people were hurling all kinds of objects, all over the place. And 2, there was going to be more damage to the school property. So I thought that putting on that engine was going to be important.
Yes.
Let's have, visibility, which might control how people behave or misbehave. And I did it out of my own judgment and sense of responsibility. Now, this was misunderstood by the Board of Governors when the investigations about how the strike was organized was then undertaken. part of the board of governors, some members of the board of governors believed that I was part of the organizing team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I gave in direct support to this organizing committee, and that I was an integral part of the planning and execution of the strike. So we are summoned before the board of governors and extensively interrogated. I did explain, just like I've said, why I felt it was necessary to have the lights on. The board was divided. Some believed my story, but others did not. Fortunately for me, the chairman of the board of governors, the late Jangola Nyango, Mwalimu Jangola Nyango, saw my point and supported my position. Okay? I must say that it remains moot whether or not I was part of the organizing whatever.
We'll not get into that.
Let's not get into that.
Yes, many years ago.
Yeah, but he saw my point. And I was saved from being expelled like others, because it was a serious matter at that time to be part of the organizing team of these strikes. Yeah.
And you actually advocated for yourself.
I argued my case.
You argued your case.
Yes. And looking back, I think that was a major milestone. Again, that is where my interest in law as a profession could have been planted. Is one of the most proud moments in my life at that school.
17-year-old boy arguing his own case.
Yeah.
Before a very intimidating
board of governors.
Board of governors,
yeah.
And winning, so to speak.
Yeah. That was a major milestone.
And I think that's when the
seed on issues around agitation for what you think is right, or doing things because they make sense to you and you can stand by them and reason why you are doing whatever. It may be unpopular, but reasoning why you are doing whatever you are doing. I think that is where the seed was planted, because it followed me through the whole of my
your life.
It has followed me through the whole of my life.
So, on 28th November 1967, you had just turned 18 the day before. What happens?
I lose my dad. My dad passed on a day after my 17th or 18th birthday. 18th birthday. And my life was basically turned upside down. I remember I'd lost my mother at 8.
10 years.
Yes. And I then now lose my dad. He was my last emotional cover. Okay? He was not just my father, he was my cheerleader. He was my confidant. We were very close after I lost my mom with my dad. So my world just went asunder. The impact was far much greater, because when I lost my dad, my mom, my dad was still alive. Okay? But here you are now at age 18, losing your last emotional cover and protector, so to speak. The disorientation was very, very, very extensive. But two things happened. I think I started to be more reflective. I realized that probably I was now on my own, and something fundamentally shifted. Rather than be an object of a subject of sympathy or a victim of circumstances, I said, I don't want anybody's sympathy. I will stand or try to stand on my own. And I made a conscious decision that from then on, I would live two lives in one. The first part of that would be to ensure that I protect my father's legacy in the best way I could or I can. And 2 would be to live my life, but live my life in a way that would make my father proud. Live my life in a way that I would make a mark for myself and by extension, extend the legacy of my father, who believed in the values that I had shared with you earlier, and who ensured that he inculcated these values in us as his children. Needless to say, the extent to which we practiced or internalized these values and practiced them was an individual choice. Because not all of us came the same way, right? So I learned a lesson from my father's death, and it was about the fact that hardships is part of life, and they are not supposed to be breaking us. They are supposed to be making us stronger. Hardships are supposed to be making us more resilient. And I think hardship is supposed to be making us more focused about how we undertake our journey in what I normally call the torture's journey of life. Challenges will come, but these challenges are really not meant to be breaking us,
but to make us stronger.
They make us stronger.
I want you to read that passage on this fundamental shift that occurred on page 97 of your book.
Page 97 of my book, yes.
There's paragraph 1, 2, 3.
Starting with our father died on.
Exactly.
Okay. Our father died on 28th November 1967. I had just turned 18 the day before. He was approximately 90 years old. Once again, a chord snapped in my heart. This was the second time I was going through such an experience. The first being when my mother had passed on in 1957. Following the death of my father, a fundamental shift occurred in my life and perspective. I refused to be a victim of circumstances or an object of sympathy. I became more determined and more focused. I vowed to live 2 lives in one from that moment. The first would be to preserve and live my father's legacy, and the second to live for myself and make a mark in my life.
Excellent. Beautiful. So this marks a shift in your life. And you're just finishing high school and transitioning to college. But now you're a man. You're basically on your own. You don't have the emotional cover of your father. You don't have the warmness of your mom. And you decide that you're going to live 2 lives in one.
I'm going to be pulling myself by my bootstraps, so to speak.
Exactly. You will apply yourself and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And where do you land next after Miranda High School?
After Miranda High School, I land in Kisii High School.
Yes.
You know, our days, you do the O-levels, then as you prepare to go to the university, you do the advanced level courses.
Yes.
I did mine in Kisii High School. From Kisii High School, I pursued my dream. And my dream was modeled after my sister-in-law, the late Njoki Okello, who arguably could have been the first Kenyan African woman to qualify as a lawyer.
Wow.
Trailblazing academic excellence.
And she was so close to you.
We were it's my foster mom. Yeah, because father dies, my brother comes back from exile. My brother William Okello comes back from exile, becomes actually him and his wife, Nelly, becomes like my de facto parents. They fostered me. Nelly, as I said, is then a trailblazing student in law at the Dar es Salaam University. They were the first probably cohort of lawyers that qualified from there, and I used to admire her eloquence, elegance, and just about everything around her was right. Okay, she was not just not a sister-in-law, but really a foster mom
and a role model.
A role model. Okay. I said I have to go to the university she went to. I have to go to the same faculty that she went to. I want to follow her footprints, and I must be a lawyer. That is how it happened.
And you ended up in the University of Dar es Salaam.
I ended up in the same university she went to.
For those who don't understand why you ended up at the University of Dar es Salaam, not the University of Nairobi or Makerere University, maybe you can give us a bit of context on how that university was organized in those days.
Yeah.
Just for context.
The simple context was we came in at the tail end.
Yes.
Before that, there was a University of East Africa with 3 colleges. College of Engineering in Nairobi, Medicine Makerere, and Law was there. So it is that everybody that wanted to study medicine would go to Kampala, Engineering Nairobi, and Law Dar es Salaam. During my time, Nairobi University was already in existence. The Faculty of Law was already existing.
Oh, okay.
I chose to go to Dar deliberately.
Because of
Nelly.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
That is how the Dar es Salaam choice came about.
Excellent. And so you arrive at University of Dar es Salaam.
Yeah.
Of course, you described the long bus, ride and all that.
2 days.
2 days. They'll read about it.
Yeah, they will read about it. Yeah.
But in your career as a lawyer, there's this one course that you take. I think defines the trajectory of your career.
And my approach to knowledge acquisition.
Tell us about that.
As law students, just like other students, in Dar es Salaam, there was a mandatory course that every student had to undertake. In our case, it was law and development, or development studies.
Yes.
The thinking behind that course was that professions don't exist in vacuums. Law, for example, does not exist in a vacuum. Law has got cultural, social, economic, and probably political dimensions or aspects. So the view you take, therefore, is that law has got a social engineering role. Okay? Now, to be an effective lawyer, you have to understand the correlations between law as a discipline and the other disciplines that part of our human activity. Okay? So we were encouraged to study subjects that were not necessarily, on the face of it, related to law. That is what law and development was about. And I think what this course did, and I must tell you, we resisted it. Some of us who were, vocal and were keen to study law as we understood it then, felt that I think this was some kind of diversionary, activity.
Yes.
And peripheral, maybe. But what that course did to us is that it made us understand the interlinkages and correlations between disciplines or among disciplines. You are able to connect the nodes. Okay? You may be a lawyer, but if you're going to be a criminal lawyer and an effective criminal lawyer,
yes,
then you have to understand some medical, legal aspects of things.
True.
If you're going to be a business lawyer, for example, if you're going to be keen in company law, corporate law, and all these kind of legal subjects, you must have a functional knowledge of business,
Mm-hmm.
how else then are you going to be able
succeed
if you don't understand what a balance sheet or a profit and loss statement looks like, if you're in the corporate side of things? Okay, if you are practicing medical doctor, you're running a business, right? And you cannot run a business without understanding accounts.
True.
Yeah, without understanding basic management skills
Absolutely.
and tools. So if you asked me what subject I found most useful in my studying of law at the University of Dar es Salaam, it was this law and development course, because it's opened up our minds to appreciate those correlations, to appreciate that law is just a sub-element of activities that we are supposed to be taking as members of our communities and societies.
Yeah.
And that we have, therefore, to understand that there is a bigger world out there, and we have to be a part of that bigger world to be able to understand the role of law.
You have to have context
in society, to understand the context and to understand, therefore, better understand the role of law in human development.
Right.
Arise and Shine with Dr. Njoki Chege, the podcast empowering young Kenyans to discover their purpose, grow with confidence, and lead with impact. Hosted by Dr. Njoki Chege.
Class of 1974, from the University of Dar es Salaam, you come to Kenya School of Law, you get your diploma, and then you land a pupillage, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity at the prestigious Kaplan and Stratton Advocates, KNS. You do very well as a pupil, and then they offer you a job like any other law firm would offer their top pupil.
Kaplan and Stratton was not just a law firm. It's not just a law firm.
Yes.
It's a citadel of excellence in the practice of law. So joining Kaplan and Stratton was something.
It was an achievement.
By the way, they used to interview university students across Makerere, Dar es Salaam, and Nairobi. You didn't just walk into Kaplan and Stratton. You got interviewed, rigorous interviews, before you could be admitted as a pupil. Prestigious as they come, yes. After pupillage, I was offered a job, yes. But over time, I realized that if I was going to remain there, then I was going to just be siloed into Department X. It could be litigation, it could be commercial department, or something. And I was going to be stuck there. In the name of specialization, I was going to go deeper and deeper in that branch of law, get narrower and narrower as time went by, and in the process, stifle my mind and deny my mind an opportunity to grow.
How old are you when you're making this very profound, and clever decisions? You must be in your early 20s.
Yes, early 20s. But listen, role modeling is critical.
Mentorship is
critical. Without even knowing who Dr. Bethuel Gechagga was, I followed his story because he was a barrister at law. But he never practiced mainstream lawyering, as I call it. He did not join.
Just tell them who Dr. Bethuel Gechagga is.
Dr. Bethuel Gechagga could have been one of the first Kenyan African lawyers to qualify as a barrister. People to qualify as a barrister. But he never practiced law in a traditional sense. You qualify as a lawyer or as a barrister or a solicitor, whatever it is, and you either join the state law office, that is the AG's office, or you join the bench, as the judiciary, or you join legal practice. Those are the options available. Bethuel Gechagga opted to join the corporate world. Okay? And at the time when I got to know about him, he was the chairman of NMG, Nation Media Group. He was chairing British American Tobacco and a few other prestigious corporate entities in Kenya.
You had never met him?
I had never met him, but I was tracking his
career.
His career. Because my mind was searching in that direction. Where can I practice law in a business environment where I don't get siloed into a specialty that early? All right. So it was my role model. At the time, John Simba was also my role model because John is an alumnus from Dar es Salaam Faculty of Law University. And John never joined mainstream lawyering, as I call it in the book, where mainstream lawyering means traditional path of joining either the bench or state law office or practicing law in a legal firm. John at the time was, I think, the deputy. He was the deputy town clerk of Nakuru municipality.
John Simba.
Yeah. John then later on veered off into corporate world. Became chairman of Sanlam Kenya, Bamburi Cement, University of Nairobi, Council, and all this kind of stuff. So I said, yeah, it's possible. I can still carry along with my law, legal pursuits, but do it in a dynamic business environment where my mind is going to grow. Talk about law and development course.
Yes.
Talk about the early recognition of interdisciplinarity.
Yes.
Yeah. Talk about thirst for knowledge. Curiosity. Talk about the belief that knowledge has got no boundaries, and that any strand of knowledge can be used and used positively. All you need to do is apply those strands of knowledge to a specific problem that you are dealing with, and then place yourself in a position where you can more meaningfully address those problems, but using interdisciplinary approach, at problem solving. Get it?
Yeah. And so now you decide that you wanted to join the business world, and you get a very good offer at the Diamond Trust Bank, Kenya. I think it was called DTK.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, and I think there was a point where you attribute youthful exuberance that made you to dash out and come back very fast.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yeah. So in my journey then, I'm in search of that kind of environment where I would allow my mind to grow and not be siloed.
Yes.
And I saw a chance in a corporate setup. Okay, so I applied for a job in Diamond Trust. By the time we were leaving law school, I had already a job. I was just waiting to complete my pupillage. And I joined Diamond Trust initially as a legal executive and company secretary.
Yes.
And I start then sitting in boards, group boards, because as a company secretary, you help manage these meetings and so forth and so on.
Yes.
Then I quickly realized, again, back to interdisciplinarity. I said, just a moment, the language here is a bit different. People are talking about balance sheets, people are talking about cash flows, people are talking about revenue streams, people are talking about profit and loss and all this kind of stuff. How am I going to be in this space if I don't understand what these things mean? So I started delving into other branches of knowledge, accounts, finance, banking.
Yeah.
And
you're a lawyer, you're a trained lawyer.
I'm a trained lawyer, yeah.
But you're acquainting yourself
with because I realized that to be an effective legal advisor to this group, I have to understand what businesses they are running. It's only then when you share space with the business people that you can meaningfully advise them. Otherwise, your advice will have no context.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It will be siloed, like you
and
said.
theoretical, yes.
And so you've had a very long career because I think, tell us about that short stint at Mobil Oil for 21 months. What happened? What got into you?
I'm calling it youthful exuberance because I was restless. I think in a space of from 75 to 81, I had felt I had outgrown my position as a legal executive and company secretary.
Yes.
So I told my employers that I wanted more challenge. I wanted to go into operational banking. There was misalignment between my career objectives at the time with what the employer felt, Diamond Trust felt, I could do. They liked my work and they felt it was going to be more useful for me to stay in that docket. But I was in a hurry. Curiosity and wanting to learn new things, wanting to understand more about businesses, pushed me into Mobil Oil as a general counsel in charge of Mobil Oil's then Kenya's operations in East and Central Africa. I was looking after Zambia. I think I was looking after, of course, the Kenyan business. I was looking at what was happening in neighboring countries from a legal perspective. But in the process, I started then interacting with American lawyers, and I learned very quickly how interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary American lawyers are. Again, reinforcing my belief in interdisciplinarity. We are in Zambian dollar negotiating a market. Basically negotiating. Licenses or lease agreements or something, regarding the Mobil Oil Zambia operations. And I meet this American lawyer. The guy is comfortable discussing marketing.
Yes.
The guy is comfortable talking about engineering stuff. I said, this is the kind of lawyer I think
I want to be.
I want to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I engage this lawyer. Then I realize, he tells me through my good discussions with him, he tells me that, look, in the American system, you don't just study law. For your first degree, you do humanities or liberal sciences or something like that.
As a first degree.
As a first degree. Then you go professional. The idea is to broaden your mind and prime your mind in a way that you can fully appreciate those interlinkages and those correlations that we've been talking about.
Absolutely.
DA is following me here.
Yes.
The experience in the law and development is following me here. And I used to admire that. Most interesting experience I gain in the process is I meet a finance director. This is in a different environment, but I meet a finance director that has got a legal background.
A finance director?
Yeah. I say, but this is an oxymoron. Is that what they call it? Yeah?
An oxymoron, yeah.
Yes. How can a lawyer be a finance director? Lawyers think in phrases.
Yes.
Finance guys think in numbers. And Excel sheets and spreadsheets. I said, something is not right here. So again, I engaged this, lawyer friend of mine. I said, what happened to you? What was the turning point? He looks at me and tells me, listen, I'm not paid here as a finance director to crunch numbers. That can be done by apps. Okay? Mathematical modeling and all these kind of things can be done by apps. I'm paid here to think strategically. See that?
Excellent.
I said, this is the kind of language I want to listen to.
Yes.
I didn't stay long in Mobil Oil because when I left Diamond Trust, then probably appreciated my contribution because the work that was being done by one lawyer before I left, they had to employ 3 lawyers to be able to do
the same
that.
Work that you are doing.
So they reapproached me and said, please come back. we now agree that we'll take you out of purely legal docket and place you in a operational banking. So I dived into operational banking. I became a branch manager, grew over the rank in charge of operations, grew over the rank, became a general manager, and ended up as an executive director. Again, lesson learned, the correlations between disciplines, the ability to think broadly, the ability to see the connections, link the nodes, again, whether it's accounts, finance, law, economics, and all that kind of stuff.
And you've cut a niche for yourself or built a very good reputation as a corporate leader across different industries. I personally met you when you were the chairman of the editorial board committee at the Nation Media Group. You are the chairman of Serena Group of Hotels, former chairman ABSA Bank Kenya. And so this has been the one thing that has defined your career, just the sheer interdisciplinary thinking. And there's a very important passage that I want you to read for our listeners. But I was just there's this chapter where you write about some thoughts and reflections. Of course, you talk about patience and agility, resilience, but you talk about placing a premium on integrity, industry, diligence, and discipline. But I want to talk about integrity. You share this very interesting story about one day where you are in your hotel room at the Intercontinental Hotel at Livingstone Falls in Zambia, and then you find $5,600 cash. Tell us a story.
Yeah, that was when I was working for Mobil Oil.
A young man.
Yes.
In your 20s.
Yes. And we go to Zambia. That is when we were negotiating these licenses and leases and so forth for Mobil Oil Zambia. And I'm staying at the Intercontinental. We are staying at the Intercontinental Hotel. So my room, I'm assigned a room, and as I turned the pillow, I felt that there was something, like making some crimpling. Not crimpling, but some noise coming out of this pillow, and I became curious, and I tried to look at what is in this pillow, and then I see some white envelope. In that white envelope, there's this American dollars, $5,600 in cash. Very tempting, cash and dollars. That time dollars were...
even $5,600 today is still...
It's a lot of money even now.
And that was the 70s.
Yeah. So I turned it into the management because I didn't think it was right for me to take advantage of the incidents and take and use the money for myself. So I gave the money to the management, who were really shocked. They tracked the lady. I think she was in the process of checking out or something, but because she has lost this money, her plans had been disrupted. Okay, so I surrendered the money to these fellows, and they traced the lady. She was an octogenarian American lady, and they gave her back the money. Since she had meeting me, I met her, and we had the normal chat, and they thanked me very profusely and blessed me in a very special way.
Wow.
And I think from that pot of luck, And from that old mama's prayers, a lot of good things have come my way.
Because of your integrity.
Yeah. I did it not because I had to do it. It was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do.
Yeah. I don't think my dad would have been happy to see me wherever he was doing things that could bring dishonor and disrespect to his good name. Yeah.
Let's now talk about leadership, because the intention of this podcast is to mentor young people and inspire them to be the best versions of themselves, to lead a life of purpose, but also for those who are called into leadership to step very boldly into leadership. And you have a very powerful passage here that I want you to read on page 303. This is the leadership chapter of your book, page 303. I want you to read the second paragraph from the second sentence. In my corporate experience,
where we talk about in my experience.
Yes.
In my experience, at the level of strategic visioning and operational management and leadership, the case should therefore swing more in favor of generalists than specialists. Mm-hmm. A generalist with a broader appreciation for specialist thinking, and a specialist with a broader appreciation for interdisciplinary correlations. Mm-hmm. In a word, operating in a knowledge-based economy requires that we should be intentional in aiming to be polymaths.
Great. What is a polymath, and how do we become polymaths, Francis?
A polymath is he or she who is curious by nature, mm-hmm. wants to explore, mm-hmm. to learn. Basically, as a friend of mine tells me, a polymath has to adopt a permanent learning posture.
I love that.
I'm quoting my friend Njoki Okello here, who at one time, you remember, was an assistant to Chief Justice William
mm-hmm.
Mutunga.
Yeah.
And we had this book club where we used to meet once every month to discuss books and ideas. Mm-hmm. And he kept on reminding us about the need for us as professionals to be adopting permanent learning postures, be lifelong students, mm-hmm. And just to read all kinds of genres of books. Mm-hmm. Polymathy is about the recognition.
Yes.
That the professions that we may belong to are just but entry points, mm-hmm. and that there is so much more we can do with our minds.
Yes.
Yeah. There are several examples that we can think about.
Yes.
In the context of Kenya, for example, not many people know, you could have been in Nation Media Group, but mm-hmm. not many people know that Wilfred Kiboro, for example, is an engineer.
Oh, chairman.
Yes. He's a civil or mechanical engineer. Mm-hmm. He's also a marketer. He is also an entrepreneur. Wilfred is also an HR practitioner. Not many people know, for example, that Jeremy Awori, mm-hmm. My friend whom I worked with in Barclays Bank, mm-hmm. or Absa Bank now, is got a doctorate. I mean, is a doctor in pharmacy.
Wow.
Branch off from that.
And now leading a bank. Excellent.
And one of the leading bankers we have in East Africa. Patricia Murugami.
Yes.
Is a polymath.
Yes, she is.
She's an academic.
Mm-hmm.
She is a coach mm-hmm. and mentor. Mm-hmm. She is a corporate leader. She's an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Edith Sidondo,
Yes.
the author of Prosperity.
Prosperity, yes.
Yes, Prosperity Planner.
Yes, prosperity plan.
Yeah. He's basically a finance guy. Yeah. But has expanded her scope of knowledge to cover areas like corporate leadership, entrepreneurship.
Yes.
He is into education in a big way.
Yes.
He is involved in imparting knowledge about financial literacy.
Yes.
And I could go on and on. All right.
To become a polymath. And
yeah.
I just wrote something that you said in one of your speeches. I can't remember which one it was, but I wrote it down that a polymath adopts a permanent learning posture, which entails learning and learning.
And relearning.
And relearning.
Yes.
So in the journey of life, in this concert of life, we should adopt that permanent learning posture.
Exactly.
So as we come to the end of this podcast, which has been really, a dream come true for me, and thank you for that, there's this very interesting picture on page 325. We are coming to the end of the book. And page 325. 325. 25. Just to describe for our viewers, you were attending the Aga Khan Fund for Economic Development, ACFED, 10th anniversary celebrations in Paris, France in 1994. And there's a very interesting group here. At the very front is the Aga Khan himself. I think that's Prince Shakarim.
Yeah, he's saying.
And, quite a very big number of white men, Asian men, and just 2 black men. Of course, there's one here, very visible in glasses. And then there's you at the back. I can barely make out your face.
Yeah, you can barely make out
your face.
Yeah.
And my note, when I was preparing for this podcast, my note here is that I need to ask you, you are one of 2 black men, one of a few in what appears to be a sea of white and brown faces. So, Francis, you've been in rooms where you're the only black man. You've been in rooms that many Kenyans would never, have access to in their lifetime. How did you handle the pressure of being in these rooms? How did you manage, if at all, the imposter syndrome? Did you feel intimidated? How did you manage to summon the courage to speak before these people? I mean,
eminent people.
Eminent persons.
Yeah.
Princes and all these interesting people. This boy from Yimbo. How did that
That's
work?
an interesting question. My delving into interdisciplinarity and to a certain way, or polymathy, took me into uncomfortable areas.
Yes.
Initially, I used to have a sense of a fear for this imposter syndrome, because you are discussing finance, you are discussing accounts with finance experts and accounts experts. You are a lawyer, so it is supposed to be that when finance guys or bankers or accountants are speaking, you shut up and they take the stage. So initially, there was discomfort all the way around in terms of challenging ideas and questioning things, and directing these questions to people that think they have specialization in those areas and look at you as an intruder, that kind of feeling. But over time, you start earning respect. Yeah, because you are comfortable in their spaces, and contribute positively in their spaces, they start respecting you. You are like being engaged, your views are being sought, your opinions are being sought because people probably see value in them. That gives you confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The picture that you refer to
1994.
is a very, very emotional picture to me because we were celebrating the 10th anniversary of ACFED in Paris. And I remember this like yesterday. His Highness, his late Highness, was hosting us as business leaders from the whole world, right? Globally, ACFED is a global organization. He hosted us for dinner. And with his eminence, notwithstanding his eminence, as a host, he walked round the tables, checking with us individually. How was our evening? Were we enjoying ourselves? Was it okay? Was the menu okay? And all these kind of very, very basic questions that any meaningful, any good intending host would ask. This is Highness. Dinner ends, and we are being bussed out of the venue. He comes out himself and waves goodbye to all of us as we were being taken back to our respective hotels. What are we talking about here? We are talking about humility. We are talking about authenticity. We are talking about respect that this particular leader had for people. I was telling a friend of mine recently that when I reflect about our interactions with His Highness, the Aga Khan, these were not business meetings. He was actually mentoring us. He was actually coaching us. Because in action, you see leadership as a virtue, not as a platform to intimidate others, and not as a platform to disregard what others think. His Highness had a lot of respect for people's views. And it could take quite a while for people to agree on contentious issues. He would encourage debate. He would encourage differences of opinion to emerge. And what he was good at was teasing out those differences and merging them into some kind of common understanding in a way that at the end of the discussions, you see your views in it, I see my views in it, our viewers see their views in it. He was gifted in that. So to answer your question, yes, I used to find it intimidating. I mean, you are talking about a project in Uganda, Bujagali hydropower project, and you have these engineers, you have these environmentalists, you have these finance experts, you have all kinds of experts in the room, all right? And you want your voice heard, okay? You feel intimidated. Sometimes you feel like just being an observer. But the moment you get out of your shell and you see the sense in participating, in contributing, however modest the contribution may be, you gain confidence, don't you?
So it's about the contribution that you bring to the table.
Yes. You gain more confidence about the contribution that you bring on the table. Then you start getting feedback about how much people enjoy your thinking, and when you see colleagues saying, as so and so says, and three of them say that,
referred to as Francis.
Yes, as so and so has observed, you develop confidence. This is what it is all about. And over time, you overcome this, imposter syndrome, which brings a lot of people down, by the way. You feel intimidated.
Yeah, you want to shrink
Yes,
back.
yeah. Over time, you may not be an expert, but over time, you learn how to ask questions that can generate conversations. You don't box yourself in a question; you leave it open-ended. But these are techniques that that you learn as you go along.
Excellent. Wow.
Have I answered your question?
More than answered my
Okay.
question. And I just like what you talked about leadership being about serving other people and humility. I don't think I've ever told you this, but that is the one thing that I, as your mentee, really admire about you as my mentor. Just coming down to my level and getting to understand me and wanting to know about my world and about my challenges. And I think that's something that I've learned from you just by watching you. And maybe, Francis, you can tell us, well, you talked about the Aga Khan being your mentor, not in a very direct way, but when you look back, you realize that he was your mentor. And you talked about Nelly. So who are some of the other people that have contributed to this journey as we close?
When I was being recruited into Diamond Trust, Zul Nimji was a chair
Yes.
of the bank. At the time, it was not a bank, it was Diamond Trust Kenya.
Yes.
Later converted into
A
bank through a series of recapitalization.
Mm-hmm.
He was my brother's, William Odhiambo Okello's lawyer. And we had an incident in the family where one of our brothers was killed by a neighbor. So he was holding watching brief for us as a family. It was a criminal case,
Yes.
but he was holding brief for us as a family. I first met him in 1970. And I remember this like yesterday. We are going to court with him. And this guy's, mannerisms as a lawyer, of course, properly dressed, respectfully, presenting his case and observations and all that kind of stuff. I said, this is somebody that I would like to emulate. So studying law, it was Nelly and Zul Nimji that pushed my way that direction. I have many mentors, boardroom mentors.
Yes.
I met wonderful mentors and colleagues in ABSA, South Africa, the Barclays Africa Group initially. Because after I left Barclays Bank Kenya, I retired. I stepped out of Barclays Bank Kenya to join the ABSA Group in South Africa. I sat there as a director for 10 years, and I met very good leaders in terms of expertise,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the leadership traits that we are talking about here. Our chairman at the time, Wendy Lucas Ball, was a typical, polymath.
Yes.
In terms of just her breadth of knowledge and the freshness that he brings on the table whenever people are whatever subject the board is discussing. So I think I've learned that humility helps, and it can be a tool of leadership.
Yes.
If used properly. Yeah, because learning as a process does not end.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we talk about this as a continuous process.
Mm.
When you refer to somebody as an expert, I feel very uncomfortable because expertise presupposes that one has one has come to the end of the road in terms of learning.
Mm-hmm.
But learning is a continuous process. If you take an attitude of being an expert, you deny yourself an opportunity to learn.
Correct.
So I think there are lessons, to be learned from eminent business leaders like His Highness the Aga Khan.
Yes.
When they become so ordinary otherwise. Despite his eminence, Njoki, you are in a meeting and he refers to you as Mr. So-and-so.
That is what he would...
Yes, by name.
Mr. Okello.
Yes, or Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so. it is humbling. It's humbling to be in the presence of such great leaders
Yes.
with that kind of human touch and warmth. Concert of Life, as an autobiography about myself in terms of my journey. The title, I get this question quite a lot. Where did the title Concert of Life come from?
Good question.
There are two elements to it. One is the seasonality of life, like the bereavements and the challenges that we have talked about, and what those experiences did to me in terms of the shifts that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so seasons come, and go. That is one root of the title, Concert of Life. The second root on the title of the book is about leadership. I liken it to an orchestra, a concert, where you have a maestro or a chief conductor not playing any instrument, all right, but guiding and coordinating an ensemble of actors. There could be piano players, guitarists, all kinds of people. He or she does not play any instrument at all, just coordinates the actors in the concert in a way that you generate harmony. Okay? Leadership is like that. Leadership requires partnership. You have to collaborate. All right? You need collaboration, you need partnerships, you need to work as a team. The leader then provides the strategic direction, just like the conductor or maestro does.
Correct.
Yeah? So I think about leadership, or I talk about leadership. The images that come to my mind is that one of an orchestra in a concert.
Yes.
Where you have this conductor or maestro not doing the nuts and bolts, but maintaining a helicopter view and providing direction, strategic direction, and making it possible for these other actors, enabling these other actors to play their role.
Excellent.
But do it in a coordinated and harmonious manner.
Wonderful.
So this is where the title
Concert.
actually comes from, Concert of Life comes from.
Concert of Life, from the lecture to the boardroom. And now, as we end this podcast, I want us to end it with a blessing. Marjorie Doyle Moore gifted you, was it a blanket or a...
Are you referring to page
313?
313, yeah.
Because I want you to read the Irish blessing for our viewers as we bring this to a close. So tell us the background of this.
Marjorie was my adopted mother. She's an American, an Irish American. We developed such a special relationship that, again, she took me as his son. Gave me an Irish name, an Irish-derived name, Frank Okello.
Okello.
Yeah. And he gifted me the Irish blessing. Done in an embroidery, as you can see there.
Yes.
And when you visited us at home,
yes,
you could have maybe seen it.
I think I did.
We have it on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, displayed it on the wall, framed it and stayed it on the wall. It reads as follows: May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm and upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hands.
Amen. So thank you so much, Francis. Ladies and gentlemen, our viewers and our mentees, that was Francis Okomo Okello, a good friend and my mentor, and the author of Concert of Life, From the Lecture to the Boardroom. Thank you so much, Francis.
Thank you, Njoki, and thank you for the honor and the privilege. I believe I'm the first guest.
You are episode 001.
Thank you very much. It's an honor. I hope that through this conversation,
yes,
your viewers will be able to get a glimpse into my life, not because it is any different from other people's lives, but I hope that what you have learned may help challenge your viewers and also, enable them to learn one or two things from this journey that I have, gone through. It's my pleasure to be here. And again, thank you very much for the honor and privilege.
Thank you,
Sante
Francis.
sana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shake my hand.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Arise and shine with Dr. Njoki Chege. Until next time, keep growing, keep believing, and keep leading with purpose. Arise and shine, for your light has come.